we're doing a number of different workshops with different people all around Scotland, and we're interested in looking at, because the Commonwealth Games are happening in Glasgow this year, actually using the Commonwealth as a catalyst to try new things. So if it's trying creative writing for the first time, or trying a bit of filmmaking, or using some of these iPads. We're working with some people that have never used these before to create short videos, to create little audio clips, to do things where they can actually tell their story about what happened in 2014.
You guys come into that as well, because you've shared some amazing stories with me. Funny stories, sad stories, I've been in tears, I've been in fits of laughter, and it's just been delightful because you've all come alive for me. But now I know so much more about you.
Our secrets.
I know our secrets. It's been so enjoyable for me to hear all your life stories.
But he just was a great dad, that was all. And he was always trying to do jokes. And one time, I've got it in the story, he put red in his, I don't know where he got the lipstick, because we were all kids, we weren't old enough, but he got something red to put in his nose, and he had to go to his work like that, couldn't get it all.
When I got home, everybody was around the back dancing, so my father didn't know when I'd come in. I could have been out all night.
You get away with it?
I got away with it, and I was delighted with myself. I got out one night late.
Back in the window.
I was a bandit man doing the fruit machines and jukeboxes, kiddie rides for 22 years, full time. And when I left that, I went to the butchers. So it was baker, blacksmith, bandit.
We lived in a one-bedroom flat in Boddle Street. It was 1.5 miles, the school from our home, and my mum and I went through Dunfermline Glen every day as a shortcut. She dragged me sometimes through a snowdrift, like I came out like a snowman, and was soaked when I got to the school.
Invasion of Europe started, and we were delivering a lot of MOD telegrams. They came in an envelope with a blue priority thing down the side, and it was telling women that their sons or their husbands had been killed. And about the first or second one I delivered, the women fainted in the door, and I was left stranded, so I was running about chapping doors and asking would they help me. So some of her neighbours come in and helped her. So then after that, I chapped the doors before I delivered the telegram, so the women were standing by. But on most occasions it surprised me that the women were calm.
Because everybody had mentioned the dance halls. We just talked about dance hall memories, didn't we?
There were so many in Glasgow.
It was famous. I think there were more in Glasgow than anywhere else in Europe at that time. So everybody just spoke, and I wrote what everybody was saying, and we made a wee poem out of it.
And you also I spoke, you wrote.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had the best of it back then. We had the Barrowland, the Playhouse, the Albert and Savoy, and the F&F in Partick where my brother found love's joy. We had the Berkeley with its mirror where the girls wore longer skirts, and the Plaza with its fountain and those would-be Fred Astaire's. We had the Pally down in Denniston where I met my husband Bill, and the Locarno on Sucky Hall Street where the Yanks would pick up girls. We learned to dance with chairs in church and borough halls. The hostess in the kinema used to pull boys off the walls. When a line of girls turned you down, you never could quite guess. Was it that they didn't like you, or couldn't dance the steps? I recall a hefty man who jitterbugged the best, and Davy from the shipyard who used to practice in his breaks on footprints that he'd drawn out on giant-sized steel plates. One time I wore a sweater knitted from Angora wool and left fur all over my partner's suit when the dance came to an end. I remember going to Blackpool at September weekends when we filled the Tower Ballroom with our soft-soled Glasgow shoes. The last number of the night was always the same old song about who would take you home that night after the dance was through, about who was going to hold you tight and whisper, "I love you, I do."
Absolutely.
Well, I'm Harry.
I'm Ina.
And I'm Chris.
And I'm Eddie.
And I'm Margaret.
And I'm Ronald.
I'm Jim.